So you went to medical school when?
I went to medical school in Arkansas.
Okay.
I was their first black student.
Right.
But when I applied to medical school there, I didn't know that blacks didn't go there. I just wanted to go to medical school. So I applied to University of Arkansas, to my area, my Howard, and I accepted the University of Arkansas because it was closer to home. And money was important to me then, and the tuition was less.
Right.
When I went to medical school, and there were only 3 other girls in the class. There was a total of 4 girls in the class of 91.
Wow.
And they made it 91, so there would be nobody complaining that I took some white boy's place.
Well,
And of course, I had no difficulty. I went to class, we studied together, we couldn't ride the bus together. So there were, as I said, only 3 other girls in the class. 2 of them lived close enough to walk to the medical school.
Right.
The other girls finally bought her a car so that she could pick me up and bring me to and from. So we had transportation, so I didn't have any problem.
well, that's great. That's
And most of
fantastic.
the fellas had been to the service.
Right.
So they had been with black males before. They treated me like I was just
A regular person.
Just a regular person. We studied together and we cried together when things didn't go our way. I had absolutely no problem. I stayed there 4 years and then I stayed for my internship and residency there.
Now you did your residency in internal medicine?
Internal medicine.
Right. And then you practiced out here in Houston for about 61 years, huh?
Almost 70 years.
Almost 70
A
years.
total practice of almost 70 years.
That is a fantastic
Oh, but it
story.
was fun.
I'm
And
a-
you know, I wouldn't have quit except my children took me to my stethoscope and locked my office and wouldn't let me. I never had a lawsuit.
Wow, never.
Never.
Well, that's great.
Nobody ever sued, and as far as I know, nobody's ever complained that they didn't get what they expected. But I tried.
I know.
Sometimes we would sit in the office at 1 and 2 o'clock at night.
Wow, that's what I was saying. That's just an amazing story. 'Cause you can't do that nowadays.
But nobody bothered us.
Well, that's great.
In fact, I used to have 2 of the fellas who would sit on the front porch of my office until we closed to be sure nobody bothered.
That's
Oh,
a
yeah.
special time. Special time. I hope you young people heard that, so I hope you guys are studying.
If I had
Okay.
one message I could give them, it would be that you can do anything you want to do as long as you set out in your mind and don't let anybody else tell you you can't do it. And just because somebody else hadn't done it, doesn't mean you can't do it.
Amen.
So what do you recommend with the current race relations that are going on? I'm being a reporter to you right
That we
now.
be our best at all times.
That everybody
And that
heal.
we don't start the fight. Protect ourselves if we have to. But to keep educating our children, keep moving in society, get involved in interracial organizations, do those things that are necessary to let them see us and know that we are not mentally retarded. Let them know that we have the same kind of opportunities as if they have, that we would be and do the same things that they're doing. But it's been a good life. I said, oh, I want it, and somebody handed it to me. I didn't have any money when I went to medical school. I didn't know you were supposed to have so much money. And did you know what the people in my hometown did? The ladies with the little bells. Salvation Army shook the bells and collected money for Edith. At that time, I was Edith Irby. And they collected money for me to go to medical school. And I was so naive, so non-informed. I went to medical school with the money just like they gave it to me and gave it to them for my tuition. They accepted it. And there were only 3 other girls in the class. The others were fellas, and they were very protective. And there was one girl who lived in my area, and we were riding the bus together. And somebody told her father, who was a veterinarian for the state, somebody's gonna hurt those girls. You need to tell your daughter not to ride with her on the bus because somebody's gonna hurt her. So you know what he did? He bought her a car. So then we had our own car. And so now, not only did she have me, she had a car full of fellas that she was riding. And somebody got back to him and said, did you know your daughter's riding that colored girl and she has a car full of fellas? And he said, my daughter, my car, don't bother. And we went through medical school. And I got out. They told me I got out with honors. And they accepted me as an intern, and I did my residency, and I practiced for what? 61 years. And ooh, it was fun. Sometimes we stayed until after midnight because people were still waiting to be seen. And I had the kind of staff who, when I stayed, they stayed with me. And I had a wonderful husband who took care of them, did everything for me that needed to be done. I didn't have to worry about finances. He invested. He did everything that needed to be done that I should have done if I had the intelligence to do. But I was so busy practicing medicine, I didn't know that was another world. He took care of the other world. And the children.
Role reversal, that's awesome. That's awesome.